Happy Labor Day to everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing well, eating, having fun with their family. I know Bash will be doing that right after he gets out of here tonight. He just asked me if I wanted to go on early. So I figured we'd do that. Got a lot to talk about, mostly about Ricky Pearsall, update that situation. How are you doing today, Bash?
Doing good. I appreciate you coming on a little earlier than we normally do the show because gonna be barbecuing some ribeye steaks today. Not much else. I actually had a pretty nice lunch, so to speak. But yeah, good to just relax and kick back on a Labor Day weekend.
It's been a pretty eventful offseason for the 49ers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, when we say that we gotta relax as 49 fans, we really do have to relax because Brandon Ayuk, there, little nagging injuries going on in training camp. Ricky Pearsall, little injuries, and then me getting text that he got shot. I'm like, is he still alive? All this
Right.
craziness. Trent Williams not signing, which is, they better take care of that. But yeah, it's just a lot of craziness happening, but we're here to talk about it. We're still Niner fans, and we still got to play our first game.
Yep. It's going to be it's a big game too. It's against a really, really good quarterback and a team that's expected to do stuff this year, just like us. But before all that, of course, the topic of the hour, the topic that is going across the screen right now is the latest on Ricky Pearsall. He was actually released from the hospital yesterday, and he was just placed on the non-football injury list. What is it? Is it a short-term IR, something like that? He's going to miss the first four games of the season to recover from a gunshot. It feels weird just saying that, like he's got to recover from a gunshot. But the great thing is it was what they call through and through. So it went in and it came out, it didn't damage any organs and it didn't damage any bone. So he's just got to recover on that. I saw the video of him getting loaded into that ambulance, and that was kind of scary and sad. He looked flushed. It was just a crazy situation, but he is alive. He did survive. He turned the gun on the guy apparently and shot him. So he used some of that off-season workout strength to defend himself against a 17-year-old apparently who had just
17-year-old
been
punk.
I think just been released from prison or was serving time
Probably
or
local
something.
jail or something. Maybe I don't know. I didn't read.
And really, like that's kind of like a big political thing going on right now with you know releasing people who should be in jail and letting them go back on the streets to commit crimes. You never think it's going to affect one of the players on your team, and then something like that happens. But great news is he's okay. And now he's just got to recover. I think the Niners are pretty good in the depth department at wide receiver, so they should be okay. But I'm just glad that on top of all the other football stuff that we've been talking about, Ayuk, Trent Williams, and all that stuff, that we have good news coming out on the Ricky Pearsall front.
Yeah, I've been itching to see this guy get in the field, and it's just very unfortunate to get a text from people that he got shot. And like I told you earlier, I was freaked out that whether he was alive or not, and that's obviously more important. But when I saw the video of him getting into the ambulance, I was expecting just pools of blood everywhere. Now he did see some blood towards the end of it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, he got really, really lucky. I mean, we're talking about like we could look back at Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
he took a gunshot to the leg. And it might have been, I'm assuming it's probably his left leg. I'm not like a medical expert, but maybe your left leg's tied a little bit more to your heart and it just hit the wrong blood vessel. And, he died. And unfortunately, rest in peace, Sean Taylor. But yeah, it's very unfortunate, sad. And, people were saying like, oh, he's got to have bodyguards. He's got to have security. I mean, up until now, I don't think anybody even knew what Ricky Pearsall looked like. I mean, I barely knew what he looked like. And I'm a Niner fan. I've seen, pictures and videos of him, but put it this way, if I ran across him on the streets, he kind of doesn't have a standout, unique look. So I probably would just overlook him, to be honest with you. But yeah, he's wearing a Rolex watch. That was probably the reason why the gunman went after him. And it just sucks. A 17-year-old punk kid that wasn't locked up, and they let him out for whatever reason. And lo and behold, he commits another crime and almost kills one of our players. So it's a crazy world we live in. San Francisco, I've been to multiple times. I used to work pretty close to where that incident happened, actually. I used to maybe a couple blocks away, maybe or so. I've been in, it was near Union Square. It wasn't necessarily in Union Square. Some people were saying it was more the Tenderloin. Now the Tenderloin, it's not far from all the nice areas and nice places, but Tenderloin's pretty ratchet. It's pretty bad. I mean, there's a couple of restaurants over there, but
Ratchet.
you just find all the druggies and all the crackheads and everything, known to man on that street. And it's always been, that street's always been bad. So yeah, apparently it was more so towards that rather than Union Square, because Union Square is actually a really nice area. It's like the heart of downtown San Francisco. When they have this gigantic, huge Christmas tree there year in year out, and if people never been to San Francisco and they heard Union Square for the first time, they were probably thinking, "Oh, why did he go to the hood?" Or it's like it's totally not that. It's like actually a really really nice part of downtown San Francisco. But then again, I mean, I remember back in like 2013, the rapper 2 Chainz, I think they were trying to go after his jewelry and they tried to shoot at him too. So, and that was in San Francisco. So go figure. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just want all the prayers for Ricky Pearsall to be manifested for a speedy recovery.
Yep.
Nice to see that his mother tweeted that out the next day that he was home right away. So that was really good. This could have been a million times worth. We could be talking about a deceased person, basically.
Yeah. I think one of the things that and I want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat so far. Sentinel, Papa J, Nathan Banks. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it. I feel like I don't want to get myself too angry about this, but there was a lot of people trying to grab some headlines for themselves on the reporting of the situation. Y'all saw my Twitter. You know who I have problems with. I'm not gonna repeat their names on here, but you got to be better than that, man. You got Grant Cohn's father posting a hit piece on Kyle Shanahan about how it makes him look bad that he was at that party and this, that, and the other, and taking pictures while his player almost got shot and killed. Something along those lines. You got people like I'm gonna say their name. You got Travis King, who makes music, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, for 49er fans. I think he's a clown, putting out stuff about him almost dying and saying like he has the most connections and the most he's the most tapped into everything. And even Grant Cohn himself with some just people. I don't know what it is about tragedy that makes people want to get some, what do they call it, clout. But it was sad, but it happens. And sure enough, there was people. Of course, you go in the comment sections, you have all sorts of things going on. So I just want to call out people like that who do things that way to just be better. We're talking about a human life here. And I saw somebody who I'm close with on Twitter, whose name I won't mention, but he said that like the fact that people are monetizing off of this is just really, really, really sad. So glad he's alive, glad he made it. And hopefully we can get past this as a 49er content creating group and just a group in general and try to be better next time if something like that happens. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say love or hate him. I know not everybody's big on this guy. I love his football talk, though, I'll be honest. And Larry Krueger put out a really, really nice tweet about the whole situation. I'm not sure if you caught it, but
Nope.
about the whole situation with people making political arguments about this. He really typed up a really, really nice tweet about it today. I saw it. It was a fairly long, but it was definitely worth the read. And yeah, I mean, the most anybody should ever just post, and most people posted prayers and all those good things for him, just a lot of positivity and or their concerns, and that there's not, everything's perfectly fine with that, But the arguments about it were just really stupid. I don't care what side you're on. They were just stupid arguments, and I didn't get that at all. I mean, geez, man, we almost lost a human being, let alone a 49er player. So
right,
yeah, and hopefully that's nobody else on the team ever has to deal with that, or that goes for the rest of the NFL, or just any person out there who's wealthy and has money. Just at the end of the day, it's nice to have nice things, beautiful, flashy cars, and whatever. But you don't want to necessarily be you don't want to stand out like a sore thumb either. You kind of got to blend in. And some people were blaming, oh, why is he hanging out over there? Why is Travis King over? And not Travis King. What do I say? Ricky Pearsall. Why is Ricky Pearsall over there? Where's he going? Why does he have a bodyguard? Why does he have this? I mean, I think I'm not sure if I said it earlier on the broadcast or maybe I said it before the broadcast, but I was basically saying that he's not necessarily a familiar face where normally you would think a guy like that could blend in, but I guess the Rolex did it. The Rolex watch did it, and then that made him stand out. But in general, he does have a kind of a look that does blend in, in my opinion. You wouldn't think of him as this larger in life athlete or anything like that. And even certain players in the 49ers who been watching for the past 2 or 3 years. Like, for example, if Curtis Robinson was on the streets, I would not recognize him. I really wouldn't. He just doesn't have a unique look that stands out, but sure, when I saw Brock Purdy in person, or when I saw Talo Noah Hufanga, saw all those guys face to face, like, or Fred Warner, like, they have unique like looks. Even George Kittle, like, them when you see them in person, they look the same, But certain other guys, they're they just look normal, so you wouldn't think everybody's an athlete. But then again, whatever you wear, whatever you got on, that's going to stand out to whatever thieves there are in the world. And just tired of all these punk ass dudes with guns and everything else. It just sucks. It really, really sucks that we have people in this world that do that kind of crap, and it's been going on forever. It's nothing new. So is it confirmed that Pearsall turned the gun on him? Because the one report I heard was that somehow the gun popped off and the assailant shot himself some way somehow. But did they actually confirm that Pearsall turned the gun on him?
That's my side.
Oh, wait, that was from you? I'm just assuming, or I mean, I'm not trying to rag on you. I mean, I don't know. We weren't there. I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, he's a professional athlete. It wouldn't have surprised me if he did, snatch the gun from him and, in self-defense, he would pull it on him. I'd do the same thing, dude. I'd never think I'd ever be in a position to kill somebody, but if somebody's trying to go for my head, watch out.
Yeah, that was my internet, by the way, that crapped out right there.
Oh, it's mine that freezes up when we go live, man. I'll do streams on my channel with other people, and it seems to be working smooth, and then it's just StreamYard. It's just weird.
I have so many issues with this app or this program or whatever website.
Me too.
I know when you look at someone like Keanu Reeves and how he just blends in, looks like a street bum, the way he carries himself, like, or a guy like CM Punk, the wrestler, he wears like hoodies and dirty caps, running kicks. Some people don't stand out in public, and I feel like that's the best thing, because I feel like if you I'm not saying that that's why he was shot at or anything. I'm just saying, like, maybe take a page out of the Keanu Reeves book and look like a complete dumpster diver. I don't know. Whatever you have to do. I personally, like I said, I hate when things like this happen, because it always creates political talk. Depending on what side of the gun laws you're on, or what side, Republican or Democrat. And it's like, all the while we have someone's life that could have ended, and that's not what we're focusing on. So again, learning experience for everybody, including the people who took their time to make it all about them instead of talking about the young man whose life was almost taken. So be better.
Yeah, that's good to say. I was going to say shout to VZ408. I didn't read into the details as of late of who did what in this case, but he's saying shout out to. So thankful for Sergeant Joel Harrell, if I'm saying that right, for being there for Ricky Pearsall. Hopefully one of his relatives is watching or something, or he's watching, and that'd be nice for them to have some flowers given to him for what he's done. If anybody I don't know if you know what he did, but if anybody wants to add to that, that's fine. And really quick, I want to add about I didn't even know that Lil Cone said that. All I do was remember that later Grant Cohn and a few others that are affiliated with him were posting stuff like kind of almost backpedaling things that he was saying. And the point is, they put it out there that they FaceTimed their Ricky Pearsall from the party, the players and Kyle and everybody giving them his regards and all that. And John Lynch himself physically went to the hospital. So it wasn't the end of the world that they had a party or anything like that. And it was something they had already planned. And I don't think it was that severe to where they had to cancel it. Now, if he died, sure, they would have definitely not partied. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but the word was that things were going good, and they had a better update situation than social media did. That's for sure. In terms of they had real time updates. Everybody else gets their news late.
I kind of saw a little bit of the report that you were talking about her hearing some noise and then finding out it was gunshots, and walking up or running up on the situation. I would have to go and reread the whatever piece that was put out there on Twitter. I know that she got there quickly, and that's kind of when those kind of things happen. Uh, it's always how long it takes for law or authorities or ambulance or whatever to get there. That can be the difference between life or death. I know that there was a lot of blood from what the report said. So it's not like he's just got shot and nothing happened. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just happy that he's going to live and have a life, and that he wasn't paralyzed or, you know, forever changed by like getting shot in the face or losing an eye or nose or something. So props to the people that got there quickly. And again, like, you just got to be better. You got to stop with this whole, got to make something all about the person who's tweeting or making videos or putting out articles, instead of worrying about the actual tragedy that could have happened. So it really bothers me. I had a lot to say a couple days ago, kind of spewed some venom at some people, and I don't really care if it offends them. Because I just think it's really, really lousy for people to take it upon themselves to make it all about them when a tragedy happens, just to make themselves look like they're better, the white knight, so to speak. So glad he's okay. Hey, if the police lady's watching, if the Pearsall family's watching, which I know they're not, but if they are, God bless, and prayers are for you. And can't wait to see you on the football field, my man.
Yeah, and I apologize for assuming that it was a male police officer. I didn't watch the latest reports on the situation. A few of the reports I watched were kind of repeating the same old stuff I already knew. But anyways, that's awesome that she did what she did. We were really thankful for that. It's almost like a miracle that you get shot in the chest. I mean, that's pretty much, you're dead or you're paralyzed. There's something terribly wrong. No, coming home the next day, less than 24 hours. That's nuts.
Just wasn't meant to be. His life wasn't meant to be ended. He
Very
was
true.
meant to live.
Very
So
true.
good for that. Good for him on that.
And I hope who was on here cussing up a storm and yelling about people shitting on Pearsall for all these injuries that he had and not being around, and people were likening him to Dante Pettis and Jalen Hurd and all that. Just stuff I saw on random social media, not necessarily one particular person, because I saw it all over the place. So I'm assuming I'm assuming they have a bit more compassion for him, but I did see some ridiculously dumb tweets in response to what happened there. So one guy put, "Oh, he's the worst first round draft pick of all time," or some bullshit like that. He got his ass raped on Twitter for saying that. But in general, I just hope people will have a bit more of a sit back, wait and see approach with Pearsall now, especially since he has to deal with this crap gunshot wound that he didn't deserve to deal with. So. And I hope it fuels his fire. I really do. This could have a traumatic effect on him somewhere on the field too. And that's what people don't realize, that he may not be the same player completely after this, even though it didn't happen on the football field. But God willing, he overcomes it mentally and physically, and we see a great football player.
I'm sure he was shook. Can you imagine being shot at? I don't know about you, but that's one of my fears. I've had dreams.
Oh yeah.
I've had dreams many times where I'm avoiding gunfire. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fear of mine. So the fact that he was able to somehow think quickly and make some sort of movement to where it not only got him but got the guy and all that stuff, all those things, is great. That we can still talk about him here in the living realm, as opposed to talking about a guy who's not even 25 years old, who's already lost his life. So props to them. Props to the police officer who got there quickly. I'm just ready for football, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, like, all I was thinking about is this kid gonna be okay? Don't really care about the game, and now that I know he's gonna be okay, you can kind of switch your focus back to football. I think we could, unless you have something else to say, we can kind of transition into another wide receiver.
Yeah.
In a less life or death dramatic thing, but the Brandon.
StreamYard has been pretty crappy. Aaron just froze up, and I freeze up on here too sometimes. I'm not sure if Aaron's going to disconnect and come back, but he was just about to mention Brandon Ayuk. But we'll wait for him to call. Are you back? Okay, yeah. It does this thing where I go in slow motion sometimes. So if you guys ever see me click stop cam, sometimes that just means I'm refreshing my camera, and this app messes up a lot of our video if you haven't noticed already. You're about to ask about Brandon Ayuk. Really, really quick. When that Pearsall incident happened too, I was literally getting ready to go to some big family party, and people were calling me and texting me, and it was just so much thrown at me all at once. It was just nuts. I mean, yeah, it was just crazy, dude. And obviously, some people went online and did shows right off the bat. I definitely was in that position. I already had plans to do something, but it's definitely worth addressing. Now that we're talking about it and we have some free time to do so. But yeah, go ahead with what you wanted to say with Brandon Ayuk. Go ahead.
No, I just, it's less important. It's not life or death though. Just the overall thought. We finally got this thing resolved. He finally got paid. And now we have a really dangerous wide receiving group, even without Pearsall. I can't wait for Pearsall to get back. But any thoughts? Like, did you get angry with any side on this? Were you mad with the 49ers front office? Were you mad on Brandon Ayuk side, or were you of the mindset it's contract negotiations and that's just how it plays out?
I'm not mad anymore, obviously, but supposedly there was something out there that the offer was on the table like for 19 days prior to him accepting the contract, and then the agent debunked that, and then some people believed that, some people didn't. Say, oh well, of course the agent's going to say that, blah 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 blah. So who knows? I'd probably go with that. I mean, who sleeps on a decision for 19 days is what I'm saying. That's really odd if that's what he really did. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow. You get $30 million thrown at you right in front of your face, you fucking taking it. I mean, that's how I look at it. So I'm not gonna. I was mad when I was mad. It was the day before because I mentioned this with John V on my channel. Like, it seemed like there was a whole like shenanigan type of deal, and oh, I'm gonna go see the team doctor because my back is hurting, or this is hurting, and that's hurting, and then all of a sudden, like the doctor clears him. Oh, you're ready to go. You're ready to practice. You're as healthy as a horse. And then when all that BS was going on, I went to bed thinking like, dude, I don't care about refreshing my Twitter feed anymore. Hopefully we can try to just trade his ass to the Browns so we could get Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper was the only guy I really, really wanted. Cortland Sutton would have been nice. He's a completely different type player. Amari Cooper's a bit more similar, even though he's older. But what I heard was that the Broncos had backed out on the trade offer anyways. It was supposed to be a 3-way deal to the Pittsburgh Steelers for that stupid 2nd and 5th round compensation. And supposedly the Broncos may have been willing to pick that up for the Steelers, but they backed out of the trade completely. And this is our best option. I'm completely happy with sticking with Ayuk. Sure, I mean, it's not ideal. It's not ideal to pay somebody who's not the best wide receiver in the league that type of money. But again, the game has changed. The market has changed. It is what it is, man. And we're trying to make another run at it for us to get. Say we got Cortland Sutton, for example. He's a completely different style than Brandon Ayuk. I'd say a much better version of Juwan Jennings, perhaps, and maybe that's a good way of putting it. But at the end of the day, it's like maybe it wouldn't have been a good fit for our offense or for our team or for what. Maybe he wouldn't have had a rapport with Purdy. Who knows? I'm just throwing these variables out there. So at the end of the day, Ayuk was the best option, even if we did get Amari Cooper or whoever that receiver is from the Steelers. But the Steelers weren't going to give him up anyways. So
yeah,
I'm a happy camper that Ayuk's back with the team. He looked happy. As long as he's happy, I'm happy. And
yep,
let's get ready to go. I was going to say, I said this a few times actually, because I also said that without Ricky Pearsall, I really love the depth of this wide receiver team and wide receiver room, that is. And I truly feel that this could be the best wide receiver room we've had in the past 20 years, especially if Pearsall becomes a contributor or even better than a contributor. And lo and behold, we picked up an obscure guy who was deemed to come out of high school as a major recruit, a bigger recruit than the other LSU receivers that came out into the draft, like Justin Jefferson and those guys. Terrace Marshall from the Carolina Panthers. If you watch his film, and he looks on a talent level, his body type, his speed, the way he can high point balls, all that, his deep threat ability, even his run after the catch ability, at least on a highlight level, on a physical level, just with the eye test really quick. I'm not talking about full complete games watching him play, but he just looks like a much better option than Ronnie Bell. He totally does. I really hope the 49ers can make something out of this Terrace Marshall guy, because off the bat, even in the NFL, even though he was a 2nd round pick, even though he hasn't lived up to his standards just yet, at least in the NFL so far, he's proven he could be one of the top deep threats out there. So I'm going to be very interested to see what happens with Terrace Marshall in the next few weeks. And God willing, Ricky Pearsall can get right and we can see him, contribute. And Jacob Cowing's a nice guy to have around. Jawan Jennings, Debo Samuel, the playmaker, not your typical wide receiver, but and Ayuk's more of a standard wide receiver. We get it. So it's just and Chris Conley, man, the veteran. I like
Right.
Conley a lot. I thought they were only going to keep 6. Conley was my guy to be number 6, and they decided to stick with Bell. I don't know if Bell is a really good special teamer. Nothing about Bell really stands out to me. I know he was really aggressive on that one play, blocking that dude from the sidelines, but nothing about Bell really blew me away.
Right. I feel like Bell's kind of in the same position we were with Danny Gray. He's getting another opportunity to do something. If he has another season where he just flatlines and doesn't do anything, then I think it could take a similar direction. But he's not there yet. This guy that we got from the Panthers, you said, what's his name? Terrence Howard, you said?
I was muted. Terrence Howard. Isn't that the actor? It's actually Terrace, like you're looking over on a terrace.
Okay.
Marshall. I think of
Terrace Marshall.
Yeah,
I know nothing about him, but a lot of people were really excited when we got him. So
a lot of people were. Yeah, if you watch his film, watch his highlights, you'll be like, wow, this guy looks like he's good. I know it's only highlights, but at least he just has a much better build than Ronnie Bell. Way faster. Just he made a really nice jump catch on one of those highlight reels that I watched. Caught a big pass from Sam Darnold, and there were like 2 defenders right there. And he's got some talent, man. But maybe Carolina wasn't a good fit for him. And by default, he's going to a team with a way better play caller, Kyle Shanahan. He's going to a team with a way better quarterback, going to a team with way better surrounding cast of characters in terms of wide receivers and the running back. So should be a better situation for him.
Yeah, it's I'm just glad that the contract stuff got worked out. I hate it really bad. I hate contract stuff because I'd kind of given up like you and just said I'm not going to refresh my feed. And then of course I just happened to log into Twitter after taking a nap, because I have a TikTok, I have a YouTube. So sometimes I like to post shorts to kind of get ahead of things like, hey, I'm reporting this. Sure enough, it happens almost all the time with me when it comes to that kind of stuff. I wake up, sure enough, it's been 2 hours since the contract situation happened. I'm like, damn it. But I was happy. I posted a kind of a late my reaction about the signing kind of thing, just saying like, hey, I'm happy. Sucks that it took this long, but glad he's here. I made a lot of comments that he is not like what I consider a top level guy. He's not what you call a game changer. And I still stand by those things, but he is a really good player and he fits our offense really well. And he blocks and he can catch the ball and do all those things. But I'm still going to stand by what I say is that there's certain guys that are game changer type, like Kelvin Johnson, Devontae Adams now, Justin Jefferson. Yeah. And I still stand by that. He's really good, but I feel like he's kind of a tier after. And I will stay with. I'm not slighting him and saying he sucks and he doesn't deserve a contract. I'm just saying based on like if they had probably isn't the right metaphor to use. If they had a knife to their throat, would they sign him for more than he's worth? And I think the Niners for a while stood on their offer and maybe were pushed off that offer as contract negotiations go. But they still didn't overpay for him, because he's still like in that mid tier as far as how much money he's getting. So I feel it was a fair deal. But like I said, I stand by what I said.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I don't think anybody out there would think he's the top 3 wide receiver in the league. I really don't. Some people think CeeDee Lamb's better. I think there's certain aspects of Ayuk's game that I do like better than CeeDee Lamb. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Sometimes I thought he was better than Ayuk, but other Niner fans think he's just as good, if not better. He's definitely in that second tier level. That's where I put him. And if he's top of the second tier, you want to say that, you can make that argument. Go right ahead. Yeah, I was going to add something else about the wide receivers, and I totally forgot. It totally slipped my mind, and I definitely want to bring it up again. Oh, okay, I do remember now. It was how I got the news, actually, because, again, like all the other days, probably a few weeks before the signing was made, because when they show pictures and videos of Ayuk dapping up Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch on the practice field, everybody tweeted, their mom tweeted, well, not me, but some people that have sources, expect the deal to be done soon. Expect the deal to be done tomorrow. They're very close. Blah, 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 blah. So at that point in time, I was like, I probably got like Popeye thumbs
Yeah.
from refreshing my feed. But then all that died off, and literally, so like the day it happened, I was on the phone with somebody and I was just bored or whatever. And while I was on the phone, I just swiped through my feed like one time, and lo and behold, it was posted and it was like 29 seconds old. So right when I saw that, I was like texting people away. I got off the phone because the guy who was on the phone with it doesn't know shit about football. So I literally got on the phone with my football friends and texted them and, hey, Brent, are you excited? And then I hadn't done an Instagram live in a super long time. I only did a few, and I jumped on Instagram live right away. I propped up on my phone on my little drinking mug and talked about for 15 minutes on IG. And I was excited that next time there's any other breaking news, I'll probably do another IG live if I don't have time to set up my YouTube. But it was cool to just finally say, hey, we got that weight off our chest and we're inching closer to Trent Williams.
Proper 49er said it best that it's dumb that people would read into a handshake on the sideline during training camp. But there's people out there that have a platform that stood by something that they said and then it had to backtrack after. And I feel like that's really dirty and really careless. All I told people the other night when they were on my channel listening to me and James talk is, if you're going to look for any news or you're going to look for any type of uh breaking news or latest news on like anything from the contract negotiations to Pearsall getting shot, go with the pros. Go with your Matt Mayokas, your Matt Barrows, all those guys. Don't go with content creators that supposedly have contacts, because 9 times out of 10 they're full of crap. And it was evident. There was people tweeting about the Ayuk situation like 2 weeks ago, saying it was on the verge of happening, and then it didn't happen, and then they backtracked, and then they attacked people for coming at them. So, yeah, Prop 49, you're right. People reading into stuff way too much, for sure.
And it's just to give those guys some leverage, because there are a few people out there. Two of them who I know really, really well. I'm not going to drop any names. Two of them have strong connections to some top people in the organization, or some agents connected to the Niners. Let's just say that.
Yep.
And every now and then they may hear certain things that are true, but they're not going to tweet it out because they know it's not a done deal unless there's paper to ink. That's the thing. Sure, we can hear, oh, things are good, they're about to get it done, and then there could be another hiccup that pops up that they don't know about, and then when you sit there and tweet it right away or tell everybody why right away, it kind of like it's like it kind, it's like, oh, maybe I should have waited, until something was actually done, so to speak. I think everybody just wants to be the first guy to report it and tell everybody. And
yep.
Yeah, and sure, I was tweeting away and sending out screenshots to people once it actually was done, but that's when it was done, though, so to speak.
Right. Prop 49er says Lowell. I don't even know what to say about that guy and his son anymore, but whatever. People watch him, so can't hate on it. The other big news is Trent Williams. Where is he? Where is Trent Williams?
I know. I didn't see. I was surprised not to see him next to Rick Ross in that picture, by the way, because I always thought.
So they both are the same person.
Well, not the same person, but I always saw like Trent Williams as like a Suge Knight, Rick Ross type of character. You know what I mean? Because when he comes out, when they bring out the boombox and all that, he's always wearing the bling and all this other stuff, and silverback this or whatever. I'm pretty sure he was at the party. I mean, maybe he wasn't, though. Who knows? I mean, they only showed like, well, what's with Kyle Shea?
My coach is drippy.
I saw that. I saw you.
I said my coach is the drippiest. He is, man.
Said,
I love
dude,
him.
like, remember people ragged on him at one point, said he kind of looked like a Ratatouille or a little rat-faced character, and now he's coming out big pimping with the slick back hair. He went through a makeover of some sort.
Dude, he's got that CM Punk thing going right now. He's got like the hair slicked back, kind of long in the back.
But I mean, his suits are so flashy, and he's got the cane, and I was like, damn, man, my head coach has got some swag, dude. Look at him. I hope he brings that. I mean, shit, man. I hope we finally just connect all the dots, and like we can see that cane with that dope ass suit holding a Lombardi. That's all I'm saying. One day.
They're humans, man. They're about to have a really, really long, extremely physical, extremely taxing season. You gotta forget, and we gotta remember that these people aren't robots, and they want to have fun. They want to cut loose. They want to drink a little bit. I'm sure guys smoke a little bit. Whatever you got to do to get your mind right before a long season or a game. So people are like, oh, Look at them. They haven't won a Super Bowl. And, rah, rah, rah. And I think that's really stupid. I think it's really stupid. People are humans. If I had a lot of money and I had a chance to meet some people and party with them, probably would do the same thing. I don't know if I'd put it on social media. Probably would though, because I am that kind of guy. But who cares, man? Like
Yeah.
as far as Trent Williams go, I have a feeling he's going to be in the building soon. We have about what 6 days now, 7 days before the season for us Monday Night Football. So
Yeah, and if anybody out there is on Twitter or whatever and refreshing way on their feeds, feel free to update us with anything about the team, Ricky Pearsall, Trent Williams, whatever.
yeah,
And yeah, I was going to add one more thing. Yeah, look, for anybody who thinks that these head coaches like are only at the facility for 4-hour practices per day, or they're only on game day, and maybe if they're lucky, they hit 40 hours a week. Welcome to reality. A lot of the times these coaches are probably working 60, 70-hour work weeks, maybe. They're sleeping at the facility overnight. It's a taxing and grueling schedule to say the least. So once the season kicks off, they're not even going to sniff or smell a party, dude.
right.
So let them get it out of the way now. Why not?
Yeah, 100%. That's funny. There's this picture I want to pop up on the screen for people that seen it the other day. And I wanted to ask the question. This really has nothing to do with any players per se. Well, it kind of does. And it's, does team camaraderie or a close team vital to winning? And I tweeted that the 49er teams of the 80s were really close. Like they were friends. A lot of the guys were close. And that was part of DeBartolo's family mentality. And he's an American Italian guy. The Italian families are close. I know because my mom was born in Sicily. So that whole like thing of like being close on and off the field, I think it does translate into winning. And there's a picture here. It's a barbecue with the offensive line and the quarterbacks, mainly Brock Purdy. And I think it's really awesome. Again, this is before the season. This is before everything has got to go down. People are having fun, drinking some beer, eating some burgers, some ribs, tri-tip, whatever they're doing. And like, I'm totally okay with that. So I'm just glad that, these people can cut loose and still have the ability to focus on what's about to happen. So,
And the guy in the middle, if you flash the picture up again, it's Chuck's Flavor Train. Follow him on Instagram. Known him on Instagram for quite some time. Really, really cool guy. They actually brought him on the Food Network for some of the competitions they had. Last year, they had some barbecue type series that he was on there. I think it was like a 6-week series, and he was on there with all the top chefs for Food Network. And it was pretty cool. Like a big time 49er fan from the Bay Area to get on there. So shout out to Chuck's Flavor Train because, yeah, that's really cool that Brock Purdy hired him to do that cookout. Very nice.
that's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a rich person, I'd have a personal chef to do everything for me.
If Brock Purdy
Kidding
hired
you?
me to make kebabs
I
or
would lose
pizza,
weight,
dude,
people.
I'm there. I do it for free actually. But hey, no, don't pay me, man.
No, but see, you got to make pizza for me. Like I haven't had your pizza
I
yet.
know, I
So
know.
like,
Any 49er fan who's in the Northern California area, past Sacramento, just hit me up and be like, hey, we'll do a pizza cook off of some sort. I don't know.
it's funny. Me and a buddy at work today were talking about games to go to this year. And he has a lot of 49er buddies. I'm trying to direct them to I created a Facebook group with me and my buddy James, like a Rochester, New York Facebook group. And we were talking about games, who's going to games. And he said, yeah, I'm not going to that Niners Buffalo game. He said, it's too cold. It's too cold.
What time of
So
year though? What time of year in Buffalo?
it's in December.
Oh,
It's going to be
December.
it's
Oh,
going
okay,
to be
okay, okay.
freezing and it might snow. Like, you know what I did? And I know this has nothing to do with what you were talking about. Well, I went on Madden and I did an exhibition game and I played the Niners in Buffalo with snow on the ground. Wow. That was tough. Playing defense in the snow is impossible. So hopefully in real life we have a lot better luck than what I was trying to do stopping Josh Allen on a video game. I was having all sorts of issues. So just thought I'd
Yeah.
share.
We don't have snow over here in California. I mean, there's very few parts of California that do get snow. So I wouldn't know what playing the snow was like. But in high school, we went to some other team school and we played there, and it wasn't necessarily raining during the game. If there ever was any rain, maybe it was light. But the bad part I'm talking about, the field was rained on. It was very muddy. And as an
Right.
offensive lineman, trying to push and block people on a muddy ass field is hard as shit, dude. It is terrible. I hate it. You're not the same player, but it's an equal playing field, no pun intended, at the same time. So,
But yeah, I never played professional sports, but watching games
I didn't play professional either. It was high school,
or not even high school. I wanted to. Just playing backyard ball in the rain is really challenging. So I can only imagine with shiny, hard helmets closing in on your body parts, ready to nail them. It must be even scarier. Every time I watch football in the rain, all I can think of is collisions and pain and bruises and cuts because it looks so dangerous. But yet, I'm not gonna lie, like, Steve Young and the 49ers during some of those championship games with the Cowboys with all the mud on the field and how horrible Candlestick was. That was part of the lore. That was part of the draw to Niners Cowboys back then, was how horrible Candlestick was during that time of year with the mud and stuff. But that was part of it. You know what I mean? It was like that's what made 49er games special.
Candlestick, San Francisco in general. San Francisco is kind of like the colder part of the Bay Area. That doesn't snow in California, in San Francisco, so to speak. But compared to the rest of the Bay Area, it's a little colder out there, and mainly because of the wind. The Candlestick wind was. I went to a game once. I remember when I was in high school, it was against the Bengals on like a Sunday night game, and I think I just went with a damn t-shirt on and no jacket or whatever. Dude, I totally regret it. If I did have a jacket, it was probably a really light one, but I think it was just a t-shirt. At the end of the day, dude, I almost needed I needed a thick jacket for that game because it was so damn windy that it was like way colder than the actual temperature was. It was just annoying, And that was the third time I went to Candlestick, and the first two times I went there, I didn't experience that. And usually, for the most part, the weather is pretty good at the Candlestick, actually.
So, regarding who we play on Monday night, it's a massive challenge. I just want your thoughts on the Jets, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people think this is like a shoo-in win. But with everything that's been going on, and even the Ricky Pearsall situation, the Niners definitely, I feel like, will be challenged. I just think that this is a different offseason than we've had. Similar to 2019, but not similar at the same time. Another post Super Bowl hangover. Now, with the contract negotiation problems and Trent Williams still not signed, and one of our wide receivers almost losing his life with a gunshot. I just wanted your kind of feeling going into the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you probably don't realize this, but your voice got really growly and crunchy sounding. I don't know why. Okay. But I'm just throwing that by. I think it's better now. Say something.
Hello?
Yeah, it's still doing that. I don't know why.
All right.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, but you were asking me something about the Jets, and my concern is the biggest concern on the team, and which is why we have to sign Trent Williams. That would be nice. I don't want to go into that game or any game with Jalen Moore as a starter. Jalen Moore playing in spot duty. Okay, he does. You know what? Jalen Moore, to his credit, in real games look better to me than in any game that he was sort of in the preseason, so to speak, even this season. But it's like this season, watching Jalen Moore in the preseason, it's like I get mad because it's like, dude, how come you haven't stepped up your game? You've been in the league, like why aren't you developed yet? You know what I mean? Not that I ever expected Jalen Moore to be an all pro type player, Pro Bowler, but it's like, dude, make yourself look like a professional NFL player at least. I don't know. It's like it's very disheartening watching this 49er team, especially their offensive line in the preseason. And sometimes we've seen this for years in our preseasons, by the way, with offensive lines. Just it looks like the worst offensive line known to man. And then once the regular season comes around, not like we ever have a top dog offensive line, but at least the O-line looks more presentable. We're putting up points. We're winning games. And God willing, it does come around to that. We didn't give up too many sacks last year as an O-line altogether. Sure, we had our mishaps. So, we're going up against Hassan Reddick on the New York Jets. And who else? They got Jermaine Johnson, Quinton Williams in the middle. Oh, drum roll, please. Who else do they have at D tackle? Javon Kinlaw, Aaron's favorite player. You could go ahead and talk about him. What up, John V? Co-hosted with him many times, and I know you're trying to bring him on the channel, so just say a shout out to John V. But go ahead. You're muted, bro. You're muted. I know you're talking about. I don't hear you. Even if you are unmuted, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with StreamYard today, ladies and gentlemen. We keep in mind we did a sound test, video test, all this before the show started, and Try now. Yeah, I don't hear you. You might have to leave and come back, if that's okay. Yeah, sorry, Aaron. Yeah, I literally didn't hear you at all. Now I'm split up. That's because he has his background frame. Let me just remove that background maybe for a second, if I can. Okay, he's back. He's back. Okay, let's go ahead. Say something. No, nothing. I don't understand this, dude. This is so weird. Did you check your mic settings to see if you selected your proper mic? I don't know if it bounced you off of that. Now, wait, say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I do. It's just a little loud.
How about now?
It's okay. You just can you lower the gain a little bit?
I don't understand why the gain is so high all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just got super high. It got crazy high. Nope, nothing. Sorry, guys.
Can you hear me now?
Now you're good. We apologize for that.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're good. I don't know what you were trying to say, but
I was just gonna say I'm just hope he's feeling better. He said he wasn't feeling well, so I just
wanted to okay. Yeah, I think I know somebody in his family got sick. Yeah, he was telling me about that. I didn't know he got sick as well. Yeah. David McNider's up in the house.
Apparently they can't. Okay, never mind. I was just looking at I was on Twitter and then I wasn't on Twitter and now I'm back on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Don't know what's going on with the technical difficulties. It seems to only happen when me and
I know when we go live. Like 20% of the time, my video gets all frozen. Right now, it's okay. But if you ever see me go in slow motion, it only happens when we collab. I don't know why. It's weird. Everything sounds good though.
What about did you get a chance to see what Greg Jennings had to say about the 49ers?
Did not. Was it on ESPN or NFL Network or
one of those channels? He had this. I mean, I could put the video up. This is what he had to say about the 49ers. He has them missing the playoffs, and he gives his reasons why.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, I know if you want to play it.
I know this will infuriate you because it infuriated me watching.
Feel free to play it.
Kind of like Manti Te'o's dumbass, but
he's dumb.
These are my 7 teams in the AFC and the NFC. It is what it is, and if you notice, I know there's no glitch.
There's no Jax.
There's no glitch on your screen. I want you to really focus on who's not represented.
No Bills.
In the NFC.
No Jags.
And the AFC. There's no
Niners.
49ers. What is Greg doing? You know what?
I'm wondering, what
you
doing?
Everyone is so bullish on the Niners. And I thought to myself, I really like the Niners. I love that they got Ayuk done. There's just a little bit too much going on right now, and I think Brock Purdy's dealing with that and not going to handle that great. So we'll see. They may be on the outside looking in. I also feel like their older team going to struggle with being healthy all season long. That's why I had to leave them out. You see, I got the Bears in there in the AFC. Yep. I got to respect to the Bears. In the AFC,
Colts.
Yes, I had to put the Colts in there.
I can't watch any more of that.
Dude, the Bears, get the fuck out of here, dude. That is just some. He must have grew up hating the Niners as a kid. I feel sorry for him if we ruined, his childhood or something like that. I don't know.
Why did they put these clowns on television?
Because he played the game, and former players know more than everybody else. That's what the.
Why is Brock Purdy going to struggle because the 49ers have had a lot of things go on in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say him? If you're gonna say Purdy's gonna struggle, I mean, come up with something good to back it with. He came up with nothing. He just said it for the sake of saying it.
He was trying to just make himself be known on television. Dude, get a better suit first of all, because the one we're wearing looked like trash.
We can direct him to Kyle Shanahan's fashion advisor or Taylor or whatever.
Dude, I don't watch television ever, because I want to break things every time I do. And then I see a video like that and it just reaffirms why I don't watch television.
You should have like a camera set up somewhere in your house and not on a daily basis, but when you do decide to sit down and watch TV and then you come across bull crap like that and then you just start throwing things across the room or something. I think those will go viral.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, get well soon, Aaron. John, I mean.
Yeah. Proper 49er says, ooh, comedy at its worst. Former butthurt Packer.
Dude, I probably have the worst slip up of names of all time, dude. I said, I can't even say it without laughing. I said Travis King instead of Ricky Pearsall. You caught that earlier, right?
Travis King actually looks like another 49er content creator that a lot of people know. Kind of has a passing resemblance to Jesse Naylor, just if you look really fast, but it's not. So just my observation. But
Javi's cracking up over here.
yeah, I don't know. I can't watch TV anymore for the specific reason of videos like that.
Yeah, great.
And yeah, Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Manti Te'o is even worse. His go ahead.
I don't know who it was, but I caught some other BS from some other former player too saying something stupid about the Niners. It just seems like it's commonplace now.
Listen, the Niners might struggle this year. They might be right, but to say that they would miss the playoffs, like a lot of things would have to go wrong for the Niners not to be a playoff team this year. Injuries being one, and the major one, and maybe Brock Purdy regresses to practice squad quarterback, which I don't think is going to happen. My biggest real concern is just getting once Trent Williams in the building, everything else can fall into place. You know, we got enough weapons on offense, even if a receiver or two went down. I think you still have enough. Defense is going to be interesting this year because it's like we're strong in some spots, and then in some other spots we're like kind of weak. Like I think the secondary cornerback wise is strong, safety is strong, and even linebacker if Greenlaw, but like defensive line worries me a little bit. I feel like we're light on edge. Looks like everybody's probably going to be a go for the first game, even though we had some injuries in the last preseason game. But I'm still just like, I rarely watch television, and then I watch that, and it's just like it reaffirms everything. Any thoughts on the week one game? Do you have any worries? Do you think the Niners take the dub against the Jets, or are you a little bit worried with just everything going on?
I'm just not sold on this whole Aaron Rodgers being the GOAT at this particular age in a New York Jets uniform.
Right.
Not trying to hate him. I know he had a terrible injury last year. And did you hear that he's not even getting along properly with the players and the wide receivers in the practice? Did you hear about any of that?
No,
I didn't.
He's always been a pompous dick.
Yeah, I never liked the guy. Period. But just it's like it doesn't sound like he gets along with that team at all. And I do like Robert Saleh, obviously former Niner coach, and I want that guy to remain successful. But we're obviously playing them at the same time too. But I don't know, dude. Who do I fear on this team? I'm like, see Garrett Wilson. I'm just looking at some players, Mike Williams. I'm trying to see if anybody jumps out at me as something like a major worry.
Reddick's not even signed.
Reddick's not signed. Reddick's not signed. So, but then again,
our play a game without Reddick, we might have right. So it would be kind of a wash.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take us though. If it's a wash, I'll still take us. Yeah. So I'm looking at the roster.
Rodgers is connecting with the receiver. He looks. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Physically, he's amazing. I just think like maybe it's overrated team camaraderie. We'll see. I just asked the question earlier, like, is it overrated or is it good to have team camaraderie? And then there's Aaron Rodgers on the other end of the spectrum where it's like his talent. Does it circumvent or just does it not matter when you're as talented as him? So Proper 49er did say he's the Greenlaw return will be spectacular. I just hope if he's going to come back this year, he's 100%.
Yeah, I don't want them to rush him.
Re-injure.
Yeah, I don't want them to rush him. What sucks is some were speculating that those shitty practice fields they gave us during Super Bowl week may have played a part in his injury, and so that might have been it. It just really, really sucks the way he got injured and when it happened.
Celebrating.
It's just terrible. And Greenlaw was and I love Fred Warner, but Greenlaw was actually my favorite defensive player on the team, pretty much. Maybe him and Bosa are kind of a tie, you could say. But yeah, I mean, I do like our D line in terms of D tackles though, because I think we'll do a bit better in terms of rotation because I like Javon Hargrave as more of a pass rushing type D tackle. Malik Collins is a load. He's 330. We got him for the Houston Texans. Jordan Elliott, who John V's pretty big on because he used to play for the Browns, and John V lives in Ohio. He's watched some Browns games or two, so he's very familiar with him. Kevin Gibbons is a nice guy in the rotation. But yeah, you're right. The DNs are thin. Yetur Gross-Matos, he's not a major pass rusher. He's kind of like more of a set the edge type.
That's what Raj keeps saying. He's he's not as bullish on him as a lot of other people are.
Yeah.
He said he's not a pure pass rusher.
He's not. I mean, he can when you get those half-assed type of DNs that can sort of pass rush, that's pretty much what he's like. I'm not saying that he sucks, but I'm just saying it's not his forte. He's not going to be like anything like Leonard Floyd that posts on the edge.
I think Robert Beal got on this roster just based on us not really having a ton of depth. You know what I mean? Like when I look at Robert Beal in the preseason, I've seen nothing.
Definitely not in terms of the pass rush. I got really, really disheartened. I was like, man, come on. Where's that 4.5 speed or high 4.44 speed that he has? I mean, he actually bulked up this offseason too. He was pretty light in the pants last year. And it's cool that he did bulk up. And I guess that the 49ers do a good job of getting certain players to put on more weight and not necessarily lose their speed. But I haven't seen, again, just like you, I haven't seen anything that jumps out at me that really, really impresses me. Maybe we finally see it during the real game, perhaps. We definitely need to see it during the real game. But I'm just surprised during the cutdowns, the roster cutdowns. The two things I was hoping for roster cutdowns from other teams was, okay, there has to be a team out there that has better offensive tackle depth than us on the offensive line. There has to. So therefore, whoever they cut, due to the fact that it was a straight-up numbers game, that we pick them up. I'm looking at the roster cuts, like, how come none of these guys ever got cut from other teams? Same with defensive ends. I didn't see any defensive ends really, really get cut too. And it's like, how are we going to, usually you can kind of pick up little guys off the scrap heap here and there that come around as contributors. It doesn't seem like it though. And as far as offensive tackles go, I was scratching my head. Like, why did they get rid of Chris Hubbard? I thought Chris Hubbard looked pretty good in that first preseason game. With all the NFL experience he has. He had similar PFF scores to McKivitz last year and the years before, and slightly better actually. So I don't know why they bothered signing him and bringing him in if they were just going to cut him. Yeah. Just scratching my head on a lot of moves they made, and the fact either the guys we let go or just guys that we weren't able to bring in from other teams. So yeah,
the roster influence though. People made a good point the other day. I don't know who I was on with. They said the fact that Trent Taylor made this team.
The practice squad,
the practice squad.
It's a waste.
It has everything to do with him being boys with George Kittle. Because that's the only reason he's here. And so, I don't know. This Niners team, as much as I love them, sometimes they do stuff like that. Then it's like, you could get another edge guy that you could put on the practice squad to possibly have just in case we have some issues. I mean, we had the injury to, Gross Matos and Leonard Floyd in that preseason game, and both are, I would assume they'll make it week one. I would like to hope so, but we are light on the edge, and it worries me big time. But we still got about 7 days, so who knows? Maybe both guys make it. But my whole thing with the Packers the Jets and Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. If the Niners can get pressure on him, they've done it in the past. They've been able to neutralize him. I think our corners are better than they've been in the past. So we'll see, man. It's always a challenge when you go up against a guy who's a future Hall of Famer, but we've had his number for the most part in the past. So I'm always worried, but I'm not worried to the point where I feel like it's the Niners just have no shot. I think the Niners have a great shot. I just want people to be realistic with this team when you've had all these distractions that, this team could stumble out of the gate. They could stumble out of the gate in this game. Who knows? So everything's on the table.
Very true. And I'm not trying to underestimate the Jets. And I don't think the 49ers are too. I mean, again, I'm not expecting a major blowout, but we are at home. And I just think our team's much more talented than theirs. But they may put up a fight and make it a close one. I mean, I wouldn't want them to. You never know how it happens in the NFL. But we did mention the NFL offensive line, and hopefully with a guy like Dominic Pooney on the offensive line next to Colton McKivitz, it's a much better guard next to McKivitz could help McKivitz. And I saw some things that Brian Baldinger was pointing out where, the awareness that Pooney has at this young age and the quickness that he has and the agility that he has to help out McKivitz in certain situations is very, very impressive in my opinion. I don't know why I'm slowing down, but yeah, it's good. Hopefully that boosts up things with our team as far as offensive line production and Trent Williams. Get that guaranteed money. Just get it over with, man. I don't know what the hell's dragging on now. Just please, let's do this.
Yeah, things have been definitely. This has definitely been an off season where it's hard to tell who's the bad guy in the situation when it comes to these contract issues. If it's the player, is the front office, is it a mix of both? Is it an agent? But nobody cares once the guy gets re-signed. I think the last thing I'll just ask you, and then we'll get out of here, is: are you worried about the Niners brought in Tracy Walker this past week, veteran safety? Any feeling on Huff if he's going to miss this game or if he's going to miss the first 4 games, or do you think that? I mean, we haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, they brought. I don't even know who Tracy Walker is, and they brought. I'm still freezing up, by the way. That's weird. They brought in some safety as well. No, a linebacker. Sorry, Deshaun White, who I'm not familiar with. I know he played for Oklahoma Sooners, and that's about it. That's all I know about the guy. So again, they brought in 2 obscure guys on the practice squad that have zero knowledge of, and I'm not sure what that means for Hufanga too. The glad that you raised that up. I love Hufanga. I'm just worried that when he does play, how similar will he be to who he was before he got hurt?
Right.
Yep. We'll see. He was amazing at one point, and it's just almost like, okay, is he gonna be that good when he comes back? Who knows? And with that said, I do love our safety depth in general. And really quick, just to backtrack what you were saying about the whole contract thing and how fans are okay with once the players are signed, that fans are okay with it, and they should be. But I'm gonna throw that interjection in there. But there you go, in sync, in unison. Look, there are still fans out there who were messaging me, complaining, and why are we paying Ayuk all this money? And this is terrible for the salary cap. And this is horrible. And this is bad. And da 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 da. I hate this. I like Debo better than Ayuk. And Ayuk this. We should have traded him. We should dude, shut up. First of all, it's not your money. All right.
Right.
You don't run the salary cap. And people are just whining and bitching and moaning. And next thing you know, I saw these tweets how Parag structured things where we're actually saving money on the salary cap this season. I forgot what the exact numbers are. Somebody can look it up.
8 million.
Yeah, it's like we have money set up for next year. I think we have like $24 million under the cap, or it's some ridiculous. I could be wrong how I'm saying it and how I read it, but it's just like the situation is way better than people had expected it to be, and this is with signing IU. So it's like, shut the F up. Let Parag do his thing. I know he takes forever to do it. I get that part. And maybe John Lynch and Kyle. Well, I don't think Kyle has anything to do with negotiations, but John Lynch is probably in the room, and maybe JD Ork's a part of it too.
Knocked on his door and was like, "Dude, let's go."
But it's like,
spear you.
Once the deal gets done, and then once it's a favorable, and the fact that it's a player who can help keep our great team together and possibly put us over the top to win it all. It's like, stop complaining about how much money that guy's getting. The team can obviously afford it. The league can obviously afford it. It is all the other teams are playing their top dog wide receivers, similar type of money. You look at all.
Yeah, this isn't the WNBA. This league actually prints money. Okay.
Exactly.
We're not being. They're not being. They're not being. The NBA isn't. The NBA pays to keep that league afloat. The only thing I'll say is like, when you say about how people are, there's people still talking about Trey Lance. Still, it was still talk. The fact that he had that game where he threw a bunch of picks and did all whatever in that preseason game, and people were like, "See, he just needed time. He just needs time. He's raw. Let it go. It's over with. He's a third string quarterback again this year. It's okay. You miss on draft picks. That's part of it." There was a list I saw on Facebook or Twitter. It was like all the hits versus all our misses, and all our misses were like early in the draft. All our hits are like 4th round and up. So it is what it is, man.
And remember, I always thought this was funny because people are like, John Lynch sucks at drafting, blah 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 blah. All the late picks that were good in our drafts were because of Adam Peters. And I just kept hearing that. Well, Adam Peters isn't with the team anymore. It looks like we picked up some pretty damn good picks without Adam Peters. So maybe Tariq Ahmed, who's the director of scouting now, was highly underrated, and maybe John Lynch had his hand in the later picks as well. We don't know exactly who, but it's just so funny that fans come up with bull crap that they preach as gospel.
They're not in the building. You don't know anything. I don't know anything.
Shit. They don't know nothing, dude. And just because you said something, I wanted to hang on. If I can find this, maybe I can't find it out here. It's okay. I was gonna play a soundbite from Let It Go for Frozen because I just thought it was perfect, but I thought thought it was gonna be on my soundboard when I put it up, but it wasn't. But yeah, dude. I mean, I have no idea why his name comes up anymore in any conversation that deals with the 49ers. We're not obviously not the Dallas Cowboys, with San Francisco 49ers. Sure, he was on our team, but plenty of other players left our team. Javon Killer's no longer our team, but I only mentioned him because we're playing him in the first game. But yeah, I mean, it sucked what we did and invested, hella picks, and maybe we wasted his time and we kind of wasted our time too at the same time. But things are playing out just fine at the quarterback position, so I don't even think about it anymore.
I'll say this: this past Sunday was the last Sunday without football until February. So
very, very, very true.
Get ready. If we can stay healthy this year, we'll be right back in it. I truly believe that. It's all about health. It's all about health. But we're going to get out of here. Everybody, thanks for cooperating. I saw a lot of you join mostly on Twitter, X, whatever. So I appreciate you coming on through there. Next time, jump on the YouTube channel. It's in my profile link on my X profile. And me and Bash will be here next week. We just got to figure out when we're going to stream because it's a Monday night game. Could be streaming prior, could be streaming a day before. I don't know. We'll let you know ahead of time. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Can't wait for 49er football. It's here. I can't believe it's September. I guess that's what I really want to say. But everybody have a great rest of your evening. Talk to you later. And go Niners. See you.
Go Niners. Peace.